I'm so thrilled to introduce her, and she's going to be doing a tincture demonstration for us. And we do a lot of tincture demonstrations and a lot of cooking classes that Mercer is in charge of at the Grassroots Institute. Just want to mention we were filmed twice by Associated Press last year, and that went out. We're really proud of that. So she does an awesome job. And here's my lovely wife, Melissa Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Mike. So I want to thank everyone for coming today. I want to make sure everyone can hear me. I'm usually in a smaller room. I'm pretty loud. I'm going to do a quick tincture demonstration for you guys. We have a little bit of constraints because we're not using cannabis today. But I wanted to actually demonstrate that you can make tinctures in many ways as an immunity booster, not necessarily with cannabis, but there are a lot of methods that we can use. There's a lot of extractors that we can use. But at first, I'd kind of just like to talk about tincture as a medicine. Tincture has a really long history. It's one of the ways that we're accustomed to seeing our cannabis medicine soaked in a high-grade alcohol for many years. This is the way we would see it back in the day, in your doctor's medicine bag. Today, what I'd like to say about tincture is we use a lot of education, we use a lot of different methods, but for myself personally, for the people that I deal with, the people I educate, often it's an older crowd, often it's people who have never medicated before. Often it's people who are very, very sick, and they don't know anything about what I'm trying to say to them. So I want to start them with a tincture, if I'm talking about cannabis, because it's very gentle, and I feel it's a very good way to saturate your receptors and start to have a slow, healing effect on your inflammation, on your homeostasis, on your overall health. I don't really think of tincture as that cannabis medicine that hits you really hard, that's very psychoactive. Of course, you can build up your tincture and get it way high up there, but what I like it is for harm reduction, for really gentle use. And for my sickest patients, that's where I always want to start them, especially a new person. Often when you see a tincture, it will be in a very small tincture bottle, maybe 1 ounce, 2 ounces, 4 ounces. This is how we see them in our dispensaries where we are in Mass, and maybe you have the same up here. They have a dropper inside the bottle. This is how you medicate with a tincture. It's sublingual, meaning it goes under your tongue, that it's going into your blood vessels immediately, quite quickly. It has been known to have effects regarding some seizures, not all. It's very good for ADD, for mental health, for emotional issues. Really, a tincture is kind of amazing, and it's a very fast relief, sublingual under your tongue. So it looks like this. There's a small dropper inside this bottle. They say about 60 drops or 2 dropperfuls would be a full dose for an adult. I'm going to just tell you that's about 5 milliliters. That's about a teaspoon if you're trying to figure out your dosing. I want to also say tincture, usually the way we do it very gently, you can take it as needed. It's a medicine that you can titrate yourself. It's not going to sneak up on you like alcohol, where you've had 3 shots of vodka and an hour later you're distressed or sick or disoriented. This is a very quick situation, and I really feel it's a great way. So let's just talk about a couple of ways we can do this. Excuse me. The first thing I brought today is a fire cider. And I wonder if anyone's ever heard of that, because they said I shouldn't be using cannabis on stage. So I do want to let you know, herbs are a time-honored way to build your immunity. And Michael and I, we love ACV. This is apple cider vinegar with the mother, please, you guys. We often do a shot of this every day just for our digestion, our overall health. This is fantastic for you. So again, this is apple cider vinegar with the mother. This is not white vinegar. This is my base for my fire cider. I put some wonderful, wonderful immune boosters in here. There's ginger. And if you've never seen a ginger root, it's phenomenal. We love ginger so much. We use it in everything that we make at New England Grassroots. It's for inflammation. Inflammation is the root of most chronic illnesses, so please, ginger, turmeric, curcumin, all these beautiful things. Cinnamon, lemon, it's the base of everything I cook with, no matter what I'm doing. A salad, a tincture, a butter, whatever I'm doing at home. So ginger root, it's beautiful. So I sliced up a beautiful ginger root, and I usually start by soaking these in cold water for 5 minutes. Sliced it up. I did the same with some lemon for that beautiful antibacterial, the immunity boosting. When I work with lemons, I do not peel the skin off. I like the skin just as well as the rest of it. So again, I want to buy organic. I want to soak it in cold water for 5 minutes, and then I make sure there's, of course, no label on there. Slice it up, layer it right into my beautiful jar. So first I layer some beautiful ginger. Then I layered some beautiful lemon. I also put some orange in there. And then I took it a little bit further and I put some garlic clove in there. So it's very, very spicy. Not for the faint-hearted. I don't drink hard liquor, but ACV is pretty intense, so I hope it's doing its great work for me when it's burning all the way to my toes. A fire starter like this, it's an immunity builder. It can cut a cold. It can make you feel better. I would put this lovely juice together and I would keep it in a dark area and I would let it ferment for 30 days, shaking it up every day. This is similar how we do our cannabis tinctures. I started this one last week. I started this one a month ago. When we're done, you can scroll up and see that this is much thicker, much pastier. It's done, it's fermented. If you're really brave, I'll give you a sip. Then you're welcome to come take a look. So, I want to just show you, cannabis-wise, we use mason jars when we're at home and we're going to make a cannabis. I am an old school chef and I like to do things the old school way. So I take my mason jar and I take my beautiful cannabis and first I decarboxylate it. We talked an awful lot about that yesterday. When I do a tincture, I'm very old school. I do a cold tincture, but yes, you can do a warm tincture in about 4 hours at 160 degrees in your crock pot, in your beautiful magic butter machine, but I am the old school girl. So I take my beautiful decarboxylated cannabis. I like indica. I put in as much product as I have. It's not 2 grams, it's not 4 grams, it's not 100 grams, it's what I have. I put it into my mason jar. I submerge it. I love to use glycerin. It's really gentle on people. It has a sweet taste. You can do a cannabis tincture with glycerin, or you can do it with an alcohol. Alcohol is naturally stronger. It's a stronger, aggressive solvent. But I don't really like to drink alcohol. So I want to say to you, if I have a patient with throat cancer, I'm not making them a hardcore alcohol tincture. It's going to burn them. If I have a person who's an alcoholic and maybe they feel that this is not right for them, it's not right for them. If I'm trying to work with a young person, a minor, a child, maybe that alcohol tincture is not right for them, and this is why I go over to glycerin. It's sweet. It doesn't upset your blood sugar. It's tasty. It's a great method also to cook with once you've completed it. So what I want to say, the basic method. Your product in a mason jar. You submerge it in either your alcohol solution. I use 151 rum. That's the one that I like. I am not a fan of brandies and vodkas and all that other thing. So I would submerge it in this jar. I would leave some room at the top of this jar. I would close it tightly with its mason jar lid, and I would shake it, keep it in a dark place, shake it every day aggressively to loosen those trichomes, the cannabinoids. Think about when I've heard about making hash in a washing machine. I'm in the washing machine now every day with this jar. We like to keep it in our sock drawer, so we pull it out every morning. Hopefully we're starting clean socks. Shake up that tincture jar, put it back away in the dark. If I'm doing an alcohol tincture, I'm done in 30 days. If I'm doing a glycerin tincture, it's a very weak solvent. It takes 60 days. It's not the strongest product on the block, but it's very, very nice for my patients who are older women. And what do I like to do with my glycerin tincture? I think everyone should put it in a cup of tea at 7 o'clock at night and feel great about that. So I like harm reduction. I like baby steps. I like to get a good night's sleep. I love a glycerin tincture. I also like to infuse a honey. And I can do this in my crock pot in about 4 hours at 160 with some product. How would I do that? I would put my product into a beautiful hemp bag. I would put it into my crock pot. I would submerge it in some beautiful local honey. I would do that about 4 to 6 hours at 160. I would pull out this sock because it's very hard to strain a viscous liquid. That's why I would use my hemp bag in a honey tincture. I would love my honey in some tea. I like to put honey on my carrots. I like to put it on my squash. I like to put it in sometimes my coffee if that's what's happening. But basically, there's a lot of ways to make an elixir. What I want to show you again is we're using our mason jars. There's a lot of ways to filter your tincture. You can see I have a lot of cheesecloth up here. We always go with many packages wherever we go. You can remove the middle of this beautiful mason jar, put your cheesecloth in, and use this as a natural filter into the next bottle if you're not sure how to strain it. This is also a tincture press. I bought it on Amazon for $100. It's phenomenal. It's 3 dog food dish bowls, a little grinder, and a weight to hold it down. If I do my honey tincture and it's too thick, I use a bag. I can put that bag right in the press it between the plates, and have the rest of the liquid come down into the tincture press. It's another straining method. I use all kinds of straining methods. When I'm done, I use filters just like this. I do this on my counter, and I filter into a beautiful little bottle like that. So there's a lot of ways to do this, you guys. You can do a hot tincture. You can do a cold tincture. A cold tincture, if it's an alcohol, it's 30 days, you guys. If it's a glycerin, it's 60 days, you guys. It's a weaker tincture, but it's my favorite. I'm happy with that. That's the one I'm actually looking for. Don't forget, you can do a lot of immunity boosters. There's a million great things that you can do for yourself naturally, and that's why we love cannabis, but we love all the colors of the rainbow. We love clove extract. Good for toothaches. All kinds of these different herbs that we can add in. Everything that went to our fire cider, as I said, everything I cook, ginger, cinnamon, and lemon, because I'm full of inflammation. I haven't been on opiates in over 6 years. I use cannabis butter, coconut oil, and glycerin tincture, and that's it. So I just want to say I'm really happy to talk about tincture. I think it's a great place to start if you have no idea what it's going to be like, how you're going to feel, are you even going to like it. I think it's a really gentle delivery device. I think it's a perfect place for a new person to start, but it's also very, very gentle for a weak immune system, someone who's sick and maybe not looking for that huge concentrated medicine, that type of thing. So I want to just ask you, do you have any questions?